Very good morning, children. Welcome back to today's online class. And today, after learning the singular and plural verbs and their usages, I am going to teach you about tenses. What is this tenses? Children, when we are talking, we talk about the past event, the present event, and the events which are going to take place in the future. It depends on the time, past time, present time, and the future time. That is called tenses. In English grammar or in grammar, any language, it may be in Kannada, English or Hindi, any language, tense is a category that expresses time reference. Time reference in the sense, it tells us the event which taken place in the past, which is going to take place in the present, or which will be going to take place in the future. Tenses are usually manifested by the use of specific forms of the verbs, particularly in their conjugation patterns. That means, in a sentence, the usage of verbs tells us whether it belongs to the past tense or the present tense or the future tense. Every sentence depends on the verbs to decide which tense they are belonging to. The main tenses found in many languages include the past, present and future tense. That means in any language the tenses are divided into three parts on the basis of time. On the basis of time, they are past, present and future. You can see the tenses are divided into three divisions, the main parts or the main divisions, that is present tense, past tense and future tense. The word itself says the present, what is going on now, the right now, this moment, this is called present tense. Past tense, past time, the actions or the events which are already taken place, that is in the past time, that is called past tense. And future means yet to, the action or the event yet to come, going to happen, that is called future tense. So if you give the definition for all the tenses, it comes here. The present tense, it is basically referred with the time. On the basis of the time in which the actions are taking place or taken place are going to take place, the tenses are divided into three. In that first one is present tense. The present tense of a verb names an action that happens regularly. It can also express a general truth. That means, for example, the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. It is happening regularly. It belongs to the present tense. It happens every day. It can also express a general truth. India is our country. It's a general truth. It is in the present tense. So, the present tense always, in a present tense, looking at the verbs, we can decide whether they are telling about the truth or the actions which is happening regularly. The first thing is present tense. The second one is past tense. This is also on the basis of time. We have divided into past tense, present tense and future tense. Past tense, what is that? The past tense of verb names an action that already happened. If the action is already happened, that belongs to past tense form of the sentence. Past tense form of the sentences. So to form this past tense form of the verb sentence, what we have to include in a sentence? How should be the past tense form of the sentence should be formed? How? Form past tense form of the, see, when you are framing a sentence of past tense form, the verb which we are going to use should be in the past tense form only. How to use that past tense form of the verbs? See, verbs means action words. And not only action words, be form of the verbs and have form of the verbs also includes in the verbs. Here, when we are writing about the past tense form of the sentences, the verb what we are using should also be past tense form. How to change the present into past means there are many rules and regulations by adding ed to the base form of the verb, by adding only d, or by changing the word completely. In this way, there are many ways how we can change the present tense form of the verb into past tense form of the verb. Children, actually in your textbook, there is a list of verbs in 3 tenses also, like present tense, past tense and the future tense. How we are going to change the verb, that complete list is given. Once if you refer that list, you will come to know how to change or how to form the past tense form of the verb. Mainly in most of the words, we add ed at the end of the verb, the main verb, then we make into past tense. For example, you can see there, World War II ended in 1945. How we have, see, the World War II ended, here end is a action word, that is verb. We have written here ended by adding ed for the regular verb. End is a regular verb, and for that we have added ed, so now it is ended. That ended shows us that we are talking about the past tense. We are talking about the past time, which has already happened. The action which has already taken place. You can see the second example. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter. Here, wrote is a word, it's a past tense form of the verb, which shows that the action is already taken place. This event is already taken place, already happened. Here you can see the wrote is an irregular form of the verb. Irregular, that means here we are not adding d or ed to make present into past tense. We have just changed the form itself. Write is a main form of the verb. We have written in the past tense wrote. Write becomes wrote. So I told you before itself, there are many rules and regulations to change the present tense form of the verbs into the past tense form of the verb. Already I have explained you very clearly. Again, when I come to the live class, that rules and regulations, once again I am going to write it on the board and explain to you where we are supposed to add ed, where we are supposed to add d, and where we are supposed to change the complete form of the verb itself, that I am going to teach you. Now I am going to tell you the meaning. What is past tense? It is nothing but we are talking about the actions or the events which has already happened. About the past time we are talking about. And the third one is future tense. What is this future? Future. The word itself says the action is not taken place or not taking place, is about to take place. Is about to take place in the future. The future tense of a verb names an action that will take place in the future. Not before it has not happened or now we are not happening. It is going to happen. That is called future tense. So this tense is formed by using will or shall with the simple form of the verb. Children, whenever you are writing the future tense form of the sentence, sentence in a future tense, you need not to worry much. You need to write will or shall. I will go to the school every day. I will go to the school tomorrow. I will go to school tomorrow. I will go. They will come to temple tomorrow. We will go to our native in the holidays, in the summer vacation. So here we have to add only will or shall. The shall will be most of the time we use with only I. So remaining all the sentences, like all the pronouns, other pronouns with other pronouns, we use will, we will, she will, he will, she will, it will, they will, we will, you will. Along with that will, we will write the main form of the verb. We are not going to change into past tense. We are not going to change into plural form, singular form or plural form. We are not going to do anything. We are just writing the main form of the verbs in future tense. Will should be used. Along with that, simple form of the verb should be used. For example, the Speaker of the Parliament will finish her term in May of 2013. Here, the Speaker of the Parliament is a subject. We are talking about the Speaker of the Parliament. Will finish. Will is the word which decides that it belongs to future tense form of the verb, and finish is a simple form of the verb. There is no plural form, there is no singular form, there is no past tense form of, nothing is there. We are just writing the main form of the verb, that is finish. Her time in May of 2013. So in all the future tense sentences, in all the sentences which is in the future tense form, we have to use will as a linking verb. Along with that, the main form of the verb, simple form of the verb will be used, and that will be noted as future tense form of the sentences. So children, again I am going to tell you all the definitions once again to make you clear. The present tense expresses an unchanging, repeated or reoccurring action or situation that exists only now. It can also represent a widespread truth. Present tense means it's not that you're talking about the things which is only happening now. It may be talking about an unchanging action. See, the sun rises in the east. You can never change that sentence in any way. And repeat it. I go to school every day. Repeat it, you repeat it again. A reoccurring action or a situation. So it may be an action or may be a situation that exists only now. Now it is present, it is truth forever. It is truth now and forever. It can also represent a widespread truth. Even the truth which is widespread, always true. That sentence also expresses that also belongs to the present tense form of the sentences. So the second one is past tense. Past tense expresses an action or a situation that was started or finished in the past. That was started or finished in the past. It is already done in the past. It's already done. That is called past tense. And when it comes to the future tense expresses an action or a situation. It may be action or it may be a situation that will occur in the future. It has not yet done, not yet happened, or not happening now or present. It will be happening in the future. It will be happening in the future. That is called future tense. So the tenses are mainly divided into three types, that is present tense, past tense and future tense. So with this diagram we can easily know, we can easily understand, or we can definitely conclude what is a tense. Tense, you know, to denote or to refer any action or any situation, whether it is happening or it has happened or it is going to happen, that is called tenses. And this is divided into three groups or three categories. One is present tense and the past tense and the future tense. Present tense, it tells about what is happening currently. Now what is happening? It's currently what is happening. Currently means now. What is happening? Past tense means what has already happened. Past tense means what has already happened. Already it has happened. And future tense means what will happen later in future. Now later in future, maybe tomorrow, maybe in the evening, maybe tomorrow, maybe after a month, after a year, or not now or not before. It is going to happen in the future. That is called future tense. And when it comes to present tense, you have some example. I live in USA. We are talking about current situation. I live in USA. When it comes to the past tense, maybe after 2 years you can say, I lived in USA. You will come back to India and now you are talking, after 2 years you are talking, you will say, I lived in USA. Or next year you are going to USA, you can say, I will live in USA. So there is a difference. You see, I live in USA, it is truth at present. It is a truth at present situation. And after 2 years, when you come back, you can say, I lived in USA. Or next year, if you are going, you can say, I will live in USA. Second example, you can say, I am in class 10th. Now, at present, I am in class 10th. Next year, what you will say? Or you can say, if you are talking about the before year, previous year, you can say, I was in class 9th last year. I was in class 9th last year. The word was says that where were you last year? It's your state of being. And if you talk about future tense, you'll say, I will be in class 11th next year. I will be in class 11th next year. This is what? Present, past and future. Present, what's happening now? Past, what has happened earlier. And future, what is going to happen in the future. Children, with this I am going to conclude that there are three very important, very main basic tenses. They are present tense, past tense and future tense. In the next video, you are going to learn about each and every tenses along with the subdivisions. So, I hope all of you understood about these three tenses. Kindly go to the recording and try to understand the definitions and the examples of the tenses and three different tenses. Thank you children. Have a nice day.